Hello, friends. Hey, I think I'm going to try and break it down to the absolute basics, simple, the fundamentals. So, what we're experiencing here is there is there is the divine expression, there is the divine field, the infinite field of endless possibilities, which is the divine, because the divine cannot lack anything. It is everything. And when I say it, of course it is our own I am, our own. Every time you say I, it's like you can open the door to that field if you really pay attention to what I am. And then there's the other one, which I call the matrix, which many people call the matrix. It's also called the veil of illusion, the simulation, the overlay, Maya, lots of names for this dear child. And that is the one that is a separate experience. It's having a separate experience from the whole, the all, the one. So there's oneness and then there's duality where everything is opposite and up and down and left and right and right and wrong and all that stuff. And that is, and then in between, here we are, and we have free will, and we can choose which one we want to put our attention on, which one we want to feed. And in a way, I know it's super, super simple breakdown, but I think getting the concept of that, because that's kind of where it's at for me. It's like, boom, I'm here. Do I go here or do I go here? I know inside of me that I only want to go here to what is true. And that's why this becomes less and less interesting or engaging for me when I catch it. If I catch any part of me moving that direction, then I have a choice to say, no, thank you. I am not interested in that experience anymore because it's just an experience where I experience myself as being separate from the all, from the whole, from love, from oneness, from the divine. It's just an experience. And, it's also called the dream. For many people, it's a nightmarish dream. So that is, if we can really bring it down to the absolute basic, fundamental, simple, then that is where it's at. Takes a long time. It's taken me a long time, and I'm still working on it to pull all of myself out of where I experience myself as separate. I'm not fully integrated in the one, in the divine. I'm still unintegrated. It's like I have cut myself off and I'm still out there having an experience as if I'm lacking something, as if I'm not good enough, as if there's something wrong with me, as if I have to work really hard to receive what is already mine, what I already am. And that is that dream experience that we have all chosen to have, maybe just to experience what it's like to be outside of love and oneness. That is one way of looking at it. And if that's helpful, then you can see, okay, I've had that experience now and I don't want it anymore. Now I want to go back home with a capital H. That's when the work begins, right? We start realizing that this is actually not as fulfilling. It was fun for a while. I got the experience of really seeing, if I can do it myself, how strong I am. Can I be successful? All that stuff that we all have been living through. And I don't think anybody goes free. I think that's simply the experience we're having when we're down here in this dimension. So the one here in the middle who has unconsciously chosen being separate, that it starts hurting too much. It's too hard, it's too painful, and then we go like, okay, I don't want to do it. So it is still this thing inside of us that that is the free will. We do have free will. That is our I am presence is free to do whatever it wants. It can have an experience pretending it's not itself. And that's what we have been going through for a long, long time. And now many, many people are done with that. But then it's like, oh, but my whole life is lived out there. Everything I do is dependent on it. And that's how this matrix is set up, that it is not so easy to leave it because we are dependent on it. That's why we need to be very gentle with ourselves as we are moving out of it, because you can't just let everything go, right? Why, who's going to pay your rent, and who's going to pay the bills, and who's going to do the work, and who's going to raise the children, la la la. You can't just say, okay, I'm done, because you can't, because then everything else is still here. So we need to be very gentle with ourselves. That's why self-love is a big part of me. We're not going to be very harsh on ourselves and just pull ourselves out and then now what? So since we are love, since the core of who we are, the essence is love, we might as well engage that love that we are, as we are just bringing parts out here who forgot that they were love, or who pretended that they're not love. And then so we use love to bring them back in to oneness, into the fold of love. And then we're back home. I don't know if this is helpful to just really, make a choice. Be clear on what you want. It literally comes down to that core here of free will, right? What is it that you want? What is your will? Is it to be separate and still stay really engaged in the world, in the matrix? Or is your will so aligned with your divine will that there is no separation anymore, and you just want to surrender back into what you already are, instead of moving away and pretending you are not this already? So that's why the more we bring love to the parts that are stuck in the matrix, that are not integrated yet, that are not loved, the more we bring love to them, we bring it basically right back in to the ocean of love, to the ocean of oneness. There's only love. And then this will crumble by lack of engagement, by lack of feeding it our emotions. And then we can finally, little by little, just drop deeper and deeper. And there is such a sweetness. I'm experiencing more and more of the sweetness of being this. My nervous system is still wired, from things from the past that is not fully relaxed, integrated yet. But that's why I say it is a process. I can't just do it with harshness. I just have to let it soften. Some things move right away. Other things, they take a long time, or so it seems. But in the process, the sweetness of being who I am, who we all already are, and the more we start getting a taste of that, it's a taste of wanting more of it. And then at a certain point, you are so purified in your beingness, because you're not feeding the matrix anymore, and you're not being fed by the matrix. Remember, the food of the matrix, the fodder of the matrix, is fear. I did a video on that. And that's why we are kind of toxic, and we need to be purified from that toxicity. And we do that, the way I described, or so many other ways we can do it. And then more and more, we just feel that sweetness. And there is such a sweetness in just literally allowing your own sweetness to be felt. It all gets so simple as we let go of the complexity and the static of the matrix. The more you come back here, there is a simplicity, there is a peace, there is an absolute lack of interest in arguing, defending. It just doesn't exist here. That only exists out here. So the more we can purify ourselves and bring back our energy, like the free will, which is going this way or this way, the more we bring it home here. We could say we go with this way, but in a way, you will realize that you are already here. You don't have to go anywhere, but that's just a metaphor. So, my friends, I hope that's helpful just to simplify it and, be curious about it. Look at that in your own life and see if that resonates with you. If it doesn't, don't worry. This is just my angle, and there's more than one angle. There's more than Pernille's angle, but this angle has really worked for me. And if it works for you, that's great. Comment below, let me know. And always, if you need help, if you feel stuck in this, if it's a little bit too overwhelming, reach out and set up a self-discovery session with me so we can see if, we want to do some deeper work together to help bring you out of the matrix and into your true being. All right. Wishing you all a beautiful day.